Subscribe to Film Companion for your film fix. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.
100% the star dynamics is going to change because the kind of audience who have access to OTT and they watch films and content on OTT have been watching not just Indian but international content for quite some time. We are only experimenting our comic timing in our real life and our interviews. Trust me, that's all I've been doing. Every time I give an interview or people see my interview, they just have a difficulty in believing I'm the same girl weeping and running and saving someone's life or my own life in every film. They're like, it doesn't match. I'm like, what to do?
Yeah, people actually say, Parvati, you are actually fun, huh? I'm like,
You
should I
actually
be
smile.
Tapsi Parvati, so lovely to have you with me and Bharadwaj Rangan on Chat Masala. We're both very excited to have you two here. What we wanted to do was basically look at how the pandemic has upended all traditional notions of uh, films, of film industry, of power structures. And we wanted to just talk to you. Of course, the landscape is changing every day, and it's impossible to predict where this is all finally going to settle in. But we wanted to talk to you in the meanwhile about how this is all going to play out for women in film. Because the more we talk to people, the more we're hearing that everyone's now looking at smaller films, intimate dramas, just the kind of stuff that women have already been excelling in. So we want to talk to both of you about could it be advantage women? Baddy?
So welcome both of you again. I think, as unfair as it sounds, our film industry has always, placed the burden of the bigger budget film on the hero's shoulders, and women have always been relegated to good films, sure, interesting films and all that, but always something that is, something that is less expensive, or something that is a more modest kind of production. Do you think OTT has the power to change that perception?
Okay. You both have asked two separate questions, I feel. Answering Anupuma's question, honestly, I don't think that someone's disadvantage can be my advantage. So I was actually almost at the brink of, or I would believe that I'm still at the brink of pushing the budget of the kind of films I was doing, not because, it was a tight budget or anything, because it was just a regular, normal growth for an actor to start pushing the budget of films in terms of the magnitude or the scale of the film. So I was on the verge of probably doing a Shabash Mithu, or I'm still going to do it. Rashmi Rocket, with that big sports dramas, biopics, which would require that scale. So I was actually looking at it as at a point before the pandemic happened, that this is going to be now the next step, a step up, where this woman in cinema is going to take the budget a notch higher with her films. That was the step I was looking at. Now this has happened. I would rather, if I have to choose, I would rather choose that let's hope that this doesn't change anything with the budgets. Let's hope the same amount of people enter the theater. I'm the lover of the old normal, and I still believe that's going to stay. So I'm hoping, rather than budgets reducing, we still are going to go ahead and go in the direction of women increasing the budget of the kind of films that they're going to do.
Very much in line with what Tapsi is saying. I definitely do not hope that the budget needs to be again. I mean, that's again some kind of like, that's a partiality again. Like, Tapsi is shown with her movies, and thankfully my previous release, Uyere, has shown that, a female in the lead can also helm a big budget, a massive commercial success film, and we keep pushing the envelope. So that shouldn't change is the hope, but considering where our economy is at this point and how it's plummeting, I'm definitely curious to know, and also worried to see how our producers are going to stay afloat, to what degree they can, even if they wish to creatively experiment and go beyond the budget and all, I don't know how much they'll be able to push it. in terms of female participation, not just as an actor. For me, I guess it's because I'm diversifying and sort of branching out for the last 8 to 9 months as a director and writer as well. I'm looking at this. See, I don't know about the old normal. I'm very, very much a child of the old normal, but I'm very open to the disruption of it. Because, however the puzzle's gonna fall, I have a feeling there's going to be, I don't know, I'm hoping, I guess this is being a little too optimistic. I'm hoping that there is a certain participation from all genders that will be required to create content. And I think OTT definitely is leading that because of, first of all, the how approachable it is, and how censorship isn't as as prevalent there. I mean, I don't know when that's going to fall on its head either, but I have a feeling that I personally have gotten offers not as an actor, more as a director and writer on OTT platform, and so have my friends. And I see that female participation is a lot more welcome, or I don't know if suddenly it's as if like a shutter just opened and suddenly there are too many of these offers. And I have a feeling it's also because most of the stories that I had in mind were, like Barry was saying, were intimate ones. They weren't like grand scope. I mean, I did have that as well, like massive Black Widow style stuff too, but also very intimate stuff with 1 or 2 characters. And now, given COVID, we can actually do with 2 characters would be something a producer would greenlight immediately. I mean, I don't want to say that COVID has given us that as an advantage, but that definitely does work out. So I'm very optimistic in terms of the kind of participation women are going to have a lot more in different parts of the filmmaking, henceforth in the new normal.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It wasn't that somebody's disadvantage should become our advantage. It's just that the whole the way of doing things is now not going to be it's just not there anymore. I mean, for the first time in the history of cinema, we don't have box office, right? So my question is, what does this then do to the star system? Because the SAR system is directly linked to bums on seats. It's directly linked to box office. Do you two see that shifting in any way?
Okay, so I feel that, okay, let's just think that OTT is probably the only medium we are releasing our films on. If we consider that and forget that theater is happening anytime soon, let's, God forbid, but let's consider that phenomena. If that happens, 100% the star dynamics is going to change, because the kind of audience who have access to OTT and they watch films and content on OTT have been watching not just Indian but international content for quite some time, or they have access to it now. So now if you're going to put your content in front of them, they are going to straight away compare it and then choose if they want to watch this or no. They're not just going to watch it because it's a big star, because they've already been exposed to a certain level of content. So I guess that ways the content will matter more than the star value, and automatically your star will be the one who's going to give the content. So the new types of stars are going to be born, if OTT is what is going to take over. But I really honestly feel that if that is supposed to happen, somewhere I feel if that's going to happen, then these OTT platforms will have to come with certain parameter as to judge, okay, how do you judge? Not for the sake of stars, it's for the sake of the film. How successful is the film? Just to judge that, probably, how many clicks happened, how many ended up watching the entire film, how many stopped in between.
But they're not sharing that information.
They don't. So I get, right now they don't. But if it becomes the only criteria or only platform to release films, then maybe they'll be pushed probably to have this, because otherwise there'll be probably that whole healthy competition of any sort. I believe in competition because I see the healthy side of it also. So that might just get lost, I feel. So that ways you might need that kind of response, if not box office figures anymore in your hands. So yeah, that's what I feel.
like, for example, I mean, as actors, do you remember the time when it was film and not digital? Do you remember the films where like that, and from that acting to when digital camera came in and then film was no longer used, there was even a shift in our acting. There was a shift in our performance. There's a gradual change in that, and a gradual change in the visual habits of the audience also. So what's happening is, in this period of lockdown, what I'm thinking, or probably I'm just hoping will happen, is that our senses are going to open away from, coming back to the start part of what your question, going to open to so many different kinds of artists and their performances and so many kind of content, that when you come back to the theater, let's hope we will, because I wouldn't want to let go of that either. I hope the audience will keep the industry accountable to ask for such content too, and not spiral back to a mob like, you know, devta mentality of certain things and only that ruling. I feel that is already sort of happening. There are high stakes, like audience are already holding responsible, but Netflix may actually have a certain palette. If you see on their screen, they have a certain tinge and the colors that they use, but that doesn't mean that each film is exactly as good as the other.
Right.
That's a bit of a trick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas Amazon doesn't have that. It's all colors, and like it's just like, you know, all kinds of poles apart. So that's what I'm hoping will happen with the star space, is that I'm really enjoying the different kinds of artists that I'm like. When I watch Sony, I look up to those actors, and I'm like jealous in the most positive, healthy, competitive way too. Like, and I want to see more actors like that getting full-fledged, fleshy characters, so that we can see that can also be monetized when we go back to the big screen.
So when that's actually what I was going to go to next. In both of you, wouldn't it be a little bit of a relief to kind of not be in the star ranking system race if we went all OTT? And two, don't you think that, you know, the system of saying that, oh, it's a commercial movie, so we should cast a star with more star value, versus, oh, this is a subject oriented movie, so let's cast an actor who can actually act. That kind of demarcation will also lessen with OTT.
I would love to rely on my talent more than the star status. I any day. I'll be like, okay, let them judge.
Is that a pressure though? Is that a pressure? Like you when you choose a movie, do you say, oh my God, I need to kind of, you know, break this barrier and say that, you know, a Taapsee movie went past this X crore mark or whatever? Do you have that?
It is. I will not deny that, because I want to take a step ahead. Like I was telling in the beginning of the interview, I mentioned that how I want to keep stepping up, because for how long will we say if it's under 20 crores, it's okay to make a female driven film, and it's above 20 crores, then it's not many girls can carry it. So for me, that's the mark of a true star. For me, definition of stardom is when you guarantee a certain amount, which is you guarantee producer getting the money back and making certain amount of profit. You guarantee an audience that their time and money is going to be worth it, and they're not going to get off the theater and say time waste kar diya. So that's the mark of being a star for me, and that's why, and I want to be one, but a star who delivers in terms of my audience doesn't get out and say what nonsense like that. So, and my producer gets the money as well. So that's, I would love to do that, because that's what happens in theatrical system. But I would be a little stress free if I have to only rely on my choices and my performances, and I do only my job without thinking about the numbers. Because right now with the current scenario, yes, we do think about numbers, and if it's only OTT, I will get rid of that stress.
You know, I think one star system will always get replaced by another kind of star system.
You think so?
That's what,
okay.
Yeah, I really think so. I think even if it goes on to an OTT space, there will be another character and a texture to it. But I think we are all sort of like, just human nature is such that we are kind of, we gravitate towards hierarchy. and that's some things of a pattern that we relate to or resonate with. I don't know if it's colonial even, I don't know what it is, but it's definitely a very basic tribal mindset of having a certain structure. So I would say that as long as stars can be, whichever kind of stars can be more answerable and accountable to the kind of content they're putting out there, that is something I would like to see. And I think OTT has a better chance of getting critiqued well than box office films. Box office films come out, or the theatrical releases come out, and there is this big deluge of reviews and 3.5 to 5 stars and this and that, and nobody can make sense of what the politics of the film is, or what the star has actually, star in the sense even the director being the star, the producer being the star, has actually put out to the mass. And in OTT, there is a bit more of scrutiny that's happening. And I'm hoping that that continues. And I feel that that will be a different star structure. But I hope that will be something that will have a little more accountability held on to it.
During the art house movement of the 70s and the 80s, you did have the stars. You did have Nasir, Om, Shabana, Smita. You know, there was a star system for sure. Baddy, please go on.
No. So I was going to say back to the 80s again. Do you think Sridevi, Madhuri Dixit kind of, you know, that the people that we hold up to as female stars capable of drawing people to the seats, however bad the movie, which is the definition of a star, right? It's like the opening weekend is always going to be good, regardless of the quality of the movie, because they have that pull. Do you think that's what's going to get replaced, Parvati? Like in terms of a new kind of a system, if OTT continues to be the norm?
See, what's very exciting is that OTT also, like, it's not just films, right? It's also these limited series which are really like not just binge watching. I personally have a problem with 8-season wale series. Like, that's a commitment, that's a relationship. I'm never ready for that. For me, it's something like unbelievable. You know, it's 8 episodes, it's 45 minutes, and then you are with it, and there is an end to it, and there is a certain gratification, but you're also sort of marinating along with the characters and their story, and they have enough time also to do that, right? So one such series that I saw was Mrs. America, and I was blown away by that. And here's a story that happened in the 1970s in a span of 10 years that they have shown in 9 episodes. And that for me is a blockbuster. If that was a movie, that would have been a blockbuster hit here. Like, I would have wanted to act with Taapsee in that, you know, like want to make such a film here. And I have a feeling there is more possibility of making a blockbuster OTT film with such a subject, and with the charm, hopefully, that Sridevi ma'am and like Madhuri ma'am and all have, you know, brought to our thing. We need to revive that. One of the things that I find missing in Bollywood and the rest of the country is that the charm and the comic timing of those actors have not been given a chance. Like, we've been not been given a chance to do that. It's always been survival stories, and not that we can get tired of it, but we have comic timing too, and we have blockbusters that we can.
We are only experimenting a comic timing in our real life and our interviews. Trust me, that's all I've been doing. Every time I give an interview or people see my interview, they just have a difficulty in believing I'm the same girl weeping and running and saving someone's life or my own life in every film. They're like, it doesn't match. I'm like, what to do?
Yeah, people actually say, Parvati, you are actually fun, huh? I'm like,
should I smile?
You know, so the thing is that sometimes, like, I have to quote Tanuja. I hope she doesn't mind saying this. Tanuja is like, Parvati, why aren't you doing comedy? You have such timing. I'm like, I do. People only seem to see that I am this strong, intense eyes and, like, you know, all that. So I feel that area, that writing has to be done, and which is what I'm trying really hard with my co-writers and everyone to bringing that, you know, a Fleabag for us, you know, like, so to speak. So I do believe that OTT will change.
Fleabag, Parvati, you're pushing it too much. Fleabag, making people understand only that they will be like another ball game only. Then we have to decipher the jokes, write it in subtitles there. It's another ball game only there.
Trust me.
उस फिल्म की कुंजी होगी ना कि ये
refer to this. refer to page number 126 for this joke.
Absolutely. But yeah, I have a feeling there is this whole YOLO going on with me right now with COVID. I don't know if COVID has that element added to this. I am going all out. I'm like, hum ye kyun nahi bana sakte hain, wo kyun nahi bana sakte hain? Because at this point, even the shortest budget film seems to be getting made. For example, my friends Ashik and Harshad are making a film in 20 days, and Rima is doing the main lead, and there's hardly 3 or 4 characters in that, like main characters. It's a 20-day schedule, tiny little budget, and I'm like, I'm gonna assist. Like they're shorting people, I'm gonna assist. And everyone's making these tiny films, and they know for a fact that they will get sold. Now, back pre-COVID times, such a movie probably would have had a tough time getting released and getting like or breaking even. But here there is a scope for such films to kind of get a bigger audience. I don't know if I digress, Patty, but
no, but isn't this exciting? Isn't so? That's what I mean. That when the traditional ecosystem is shaken to the core, maybe what will come is innovation like this. Because we are forced into it. We don't have a choice anymore. We have to innovate. We have to be creative. Are the two of you, Parvati, you said you're writing. Tapsi, are you trying to develop anything for yourself? Any material that perhaps takes you away from the weeping or saving character?
The only material I'm developing right now, or last 3 months, is in the kitchen, cooking and developing material there to eat. That's been my innovation, because I never stepped in kitchen before this. So apart from that, but last 1 year has been very good in terms of getting scripts where I am making people laugh and not just crying and weeping, or I'm not just an object of a joke. So it has, and I've actually said yes to some films which is like really good. In fact, Run Lola Run's adaptation, that's not a weeping thriller, and they've actually made it funnier than whatever we felt for the original. So that's quite funny. There are a couple of films that I've said yes to, which is like out and out like comedy with certain takeaway. It's not going to be a mindless comedy. And finally, I've had films where the woman is not an object of joke. She's the one cracking the joke. Because my problem with the films for the longest time, and people ask me, why do you do such intense, heavy duty films? I think I'm not. I don't know. Should I just be the object of joke every time, or am I allowed to crack one? So that's why it took a little while to get good jokes or good funny things in a script for a girl. But this year has been good. I mean, last year when I got all these scripts, and I said yes to a couple of them, which are quite funny and the kind of humor I would love to watch a female do on screen. So I'm actually content with that now.
I'm looking forward to that.
With both your films, that is, I'm going to take one film of each of you. There's Kareeb Kareeb, Single, and Thappad. There was this, when they landed up on OTT, they came with the baggage of the box office performance, and which was like, okay, like kind of, it came with. Do you think that not having a box office number associated with the film, and people just like, which kind of determines people have liked it or not liked it or something like that, in a not necessarily that they will like it. Do you think that a movie landing up on OTT directly without that number attached to it, do you think that's likely to get a more unbiased kind of view from the viewer?
Yeah, of course. I think because it starts on a fresh, the only biased view will be what do you think of the people involved in it, the kind of work they've done or you've seen of them before. Other than that, if the number is not attached, or if people haven't seen it before and already written a lot about it, because when Thappad came on OTT, already so much was written, reviews were all out, and there was major discussion that had already happened, in fact, from the time promo release itself. So there was enough and more about it on social media and everywhere. And I think that kind of honestly somewhere helped, I would rather say, because people were very intrigued as to why so much of drama around this, or why is it being discussed like this in an extreme way. There are extreme conversations on it. So that's why I think the intrigue value increased, and hence people ended up like out of curiosity watching it and then liking it or not liking it. So that way that kind of helped. But generally, if you don't have, like for example, when Gulabo Sitabo came out, we had no idea about how, nobody had seen the film before, and so we just saw it like a clean slate, and you just watch it and then decide, and you had no rush of walking out and giving an instant judgment of things. You're just enjoying it at your own pace. So yeah, of course the feel becomes different when you don't know about the film beforehand.
You know what, Kareeb Single though, this was my experience is that, see, the movie had a really warm reception, but from what I remember, it wasn't a massive hit. It did not like, go beyond certain degree and became, the only talk in town and all. It was really warmly received. And I remember once it got onto Netflix, then it started. Then it was like, everyone's like, "Ye release kab hua tha?" Or like, what were the reviews back then? How much did it? I have Instagram messages in which people are asking, is like, "Maine iska, like, this must have been a massive hit when it released. When did it release? How come I didn't hear much about it?" So I'm not saying that, see, I have always found it very tricky what publicity does for theatrical releases. Like, what kind of publicity reaches so many people, and I'm not an authority figure to talk about that. But Kareeb Single definitely flourished since it got on Netflix, way more than when it released. And in that way, I kind of like going a little blind into watching a film than the publicity that is generated, unless it's very smart publicity. Like I really loved every single item of publicity that was done for Thappad, because it was constantly only speaking of the content, and sort of, it was like a shepherd, like getting the sheep into the theater. So that is exactly the kind of publicity that I like, than just sort of how do you say, titillate the audience with the star and saying, "Come see them shirtless, come see them like this, you would get to see this shot." So I personally feel that for Kareeb Single, Netflix or the OTT platform presence did a lot of good. People have watched it 5-6 times and have, commented on it. I prefer it. I prefer if movies release without much expectations hyped up.
I have to tell you, I love theatrical, and I would never want to imagine a world without movie theaters. But that Friday when Gulabo Sitabo dropped, it was so refreshing to not get the WhatsApps about box office, to not have that conversation, abhi Ayushman ka draw kitna hai, first day first show kitna hua. That whole kind of spectator sport around that Friday opening, which is what it had become, and that kind of as the decider of the quality of a film. It was
sort of bookie system nahi lagta tha, Anupama. Like it's like we are looking at a horse race.
Exactly.
It is.
Exactly. I remember one interview Kabir Khan had told me that I feel like no one's even asking ki yaar film kaisi hai. Everyone's just saying opening kya lagi. So to not have that was just so nice, and have people weighing in on whether they liked it, whether they found it too slow, how good Farooq Jafar was. It was just so nice, and I just hope that post-pandemic we take back some of this. We take back that let's talk about the film. Barry's shaking his head.
Barry is such a cynic. Barry, I'm with you on that. I have a feeling, how it's said in the movie.
It's gonna get
Worse?
for this, it's gonna get back to what it was, craziness. I'll tell you why. It's a sheer definition or difference between having fast food and having a nice like delicacy where you just sit back and relish. Because when Gulabo Sitabo came, everybody was like, okay, acha, aaj dekhenge. So everyone took out their own time in their own comfortable space. Kahin jaldi nahi hai jaane ki, report karne ki, kahin se nikalne ki, kahin pahunchne ki. So you're just sitting at your own pace in your own house and watching it. So you end up like relishing it. You don't mind the pace, whatever it may be. You try to get, but when you are in theater, you are like, वो जो 300 रुपए है ना, you want to like make sure कि उसका मतलब 600 का फायदा निकाल के हम निकले. Yeah, so मतलब they want to get into the theater and every second should be worth it, and we are like वहां से जल्दी जाना है, अच्छा लेट हो गए, फिर वहां से निकल के कहीं और जाना है, and मतलब कितनी देर होगी और कितना इंटरवल ज्यादा लंबा नहीं हो गया. So there are like so many these fast food वाली feeling ना, like you just finish it and just move it, and जब वो जल्दी finish करके अब how much have you actually soaked it in, so it should be so bloody impactful only then you'll actually carry it out. Otherwise you'll be like running faster than the film, trying to get it done, get done with it. So that's the difference. That's why we enjoy all these, Kareeb Kareeb single, and because I saw it on OTT. When I was watching it, it's like a nice, very beautiful film. So you just sit and enjoy lovely performances, lovely moments. But koi theater mein jaake baitha hoga would have been in a bigger hurry, like fast. They want to probably get out and go somewhere, and then they were like, "Acha, abhi jaldi chalo, jaldi agla joke maro." ऐसे थोड़ी ना तो होता है. It's like that.
That's also the kind of it's a kind of habit that has been formed over the years also, I feel, with the kind of movies we expect on bigger screen, is that punch kab aayega, punch dialogue, plot twist kab aayega, nahi aayega. I remember when I think this was in January, pre-COVID, like kind of pre-COVID, I was watching Shoplifters. And I remember I took my time, obviously, and sat and watched it. And it's like, it's been ages. Or, for example, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, right? And I'm like, ye kya hai pace? Like, and I know I probably will be trolled for this. I slept in between. I slept off. I literally slept off. Not because I didn't like it. I loved the film. One of the people who loved the film. But I dozed off because the frames were like a lullaby. It's like I could just sleep off to it. So I say that in the most positive sense. It's just that I also realize that I also want the Avengers pace now. So I'm hoping that OTT, this is all just hope, but I'm also part cynic and part optimist. So I have a feeling the moment you give back an older habit, which has been set over a period of time, this whole new revelation and profoundness about movie watching will all go out the window.
Oh dear. Tell me, in the last few months, as you've been talking to other people in the film business, as you're watching sort of new kind of ideas take place, everybody's kind of talking to each other about how do we do this? How do we start shooting again? And I believe in Kerala, shoots have begun. They have started, like you were saying, your friends have started doing some very small scale shoots. What are the things you're hearing that give you hope that there's going to be a better tomorrow?
What I hear is that, budget wise, a lot of cuts are happening. But I can still see that they are trying to include as many people as possible. That makes me happy, because I have only had like one assistant who's also my makeup man. I'm worried for them. I'm not worried. Actors will be hired. Even there, the supporting characters are always going to be like taken out of the script itself. Like a passing shot won't be there. Junior artists are going to get affected. But I can see that the way they are planning the schedule, in the way they're planning to rotate the team and schedule it, is to also include as many people as possible. So I hope that gives me a little hope that they are always putting the job and the employment part of it at the forefront. Yes, everyone's taking a pay cut. That's there for sure. And I genuinely hope that the stars do the most of the pay cut, because they can see that now there's no theatrical releases, no that weekend wala, numbers that's working out for them. And so that gives me hope. And I also like how the government is extremely invested in making this work with the filmmakers. So there is constant meetings going on. And I feel like the economy is going to boom for us in terms of the film industry in Malayalam for sure. I see those discussions happen and everybody seems very positive and raring to go.
Oh, lovely. Tapsi?
I get a hope from the fact that whenever I speak to someone in the industry, everyone is wanting to go back to work. That there was a time when everyone was so paranoid that they were like, oh, we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to go. Whoever I'm talking to, at least a lot of people who I'm going to work with, they are wanting to make it work, wanting to go back to work. That want, without that, that thing like, oh no, I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm not going to get there. There have been conversations about, like 3 of my films that have already started talking to me about rough dates. Okay, this is what we're going to do and all that. So that want of planning is there. So that want, I think where there's a will, there is a way. That's what I've always believed in. So I guess the fact that everybody wants to get back, they'll find out a way, with the government and however. But that want is very important.
I hope soon. Cannot wait to see. either on OTT or in theaters. But Barry, do you have any other questions?
No, I just hope your comic scripts work out, because that would be really something to kind of.
That will be the first one going on floor, Daddy. That will be the first
Lovely.
one.
I'll be rooting for you. I can't wait for more actresses to get such scripts.
Yeah.
Seriously, we are untapped potential. Not to blow my own trumpet here, but just saying, untapped potential. Make us.
No, it's generally a female. I mean, it's untapped because you have not seen for decades. You haven't really seen the female point of view of a lot of things. So I guess it's just an untapped sphere of life that we have not seen and slowly getting explored. I mean, so yeah, let's keep marching on.
Thank you, ladies. This was so much fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
I cannot wait to see your comedies.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you both. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.